Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including today. These 15 cable networks saw the biggest drop in viewership in 2023. We'll break those down and let you know some of the reasons why. Netflix is quietly teasing another price hike. Are you ready to pay more for Netflix? Would you? And Amazon executives sat down with Cord Cutters News, and in it, they talked about the new ad-supported streaming packages that are coming to Amazon Prime. Everybody's going to be moved to the new ad-supported plan. We'll tell you what they told us about it and more coming up here in a quick minute. First of all, if you're new here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up down below. It really does help us because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. If you want to learn more about these stories, check out the show notes in the first pinned comment. I'll put a link to each story I talk about so you can read them for yourself. Let's dive into it, starting off with 15 cable networks that saw the biggest drop in 2023. These 15 networks all kind of have one thing in common. They all don't have live sports and live news, and they were some of the hardest hits, including a few like the Sportsman channel losing 50% of its viewers. Discovery Español lost 48. Disney XD lost 40. Discovery Family, I hope I said that right, 35%. I apologize. VH1 lost 36. Reels lost 34. Nickelodeon lost 34%. Nick Jr. lost 34%. Travel Channel lost 33%. Stars lost 31%. Paramount lost 30%. And Discovery Life lost 29%. Those are just a handful. You want to see the full list with all the percentages? Check out the show notes down below for the first pin comment down there for the story. Few things here. Increasingly, people who are not watching live sports or live events are moving away from it. Well, there's a few exceptions on this list. Reels has On Patrol Live. It's not necessarily a live sports event. People are maybe more willing to watch that on demand later than they are maybe a Chargers versus NFL football game, NHL, NBA, college football, etc. That's increasingly becoming the biggest issue here. We're already seeing Spectrum drop some underperforming channels, including Disney XD, who lost 40% of its viewership. I'm sure Spectrum, the second largest cable TV network, dropping them didn't help. These are all primetime numbers for primetime hours. But it raises the question, how long can some of these channels hold on if some of them losing 50% of their audience last year? How long until we see some of these cable networks shut down in 2024? We're going to keep a very close eye on this. Leave me a comment. Let me know. I'll love to hear from you. All right, Netflix had their earnings earlier this week. I'm saying yesterday because I'm recording this late in the day, back on Tuesday. But now we're getting a hint from them during the earnings call that prices may go up. During the call, Netflix staff said, as we invest in and improve Netflix, we will occasionally ask our members to pay a little extra to reflect those improvements, which in turn helps drive the positive flywheel of additional investments to further improve and grow our service. That's a bit of a mouthful. You can check the full comment out down there. Netflix has already been raising its prices. Turkey went up. Singapore went up recently internationally. They are making it difficult in some markets to get the cheaper basic ad-free plan and pushing people over to ad-supported plan, which is our more profitable for them. Look for this trend to become more popular. Creating content in the United States is becoming more and more expensive, especially with the new deals that have been reached with writers and actors. That does raise costs, but just in general, a lot of the things that go into producing a movie. Labor, of course, is a big part of it, but gas is a big part. All the people moving around, transporting all this. Set construction, wood, construction materials is way up in other areas. So definitely look for this to become a growing trend as content costs go up. Content providers are going to have to pass that cost along there. But let me know, would you pay more for Netflix or would you cancel and walk away? I'd love to hear from you. Next week, Amazon will be adding ads to its Prime Video service. All customers will see it. You do have an option to pay an extra $2.99 to get an ad-free version if you so desire. But Cord Cutters News, Roger met with Andrew Bennett, the Vice President and Head of Video Partnerships at Amazon, and says that the amount of ads will be fewer ads than their rivals. So an ad support plan with Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus will show more ads according to Amazon than the Amazon Prime Video ad. Exactly what that means, we don't know. We'll have to actually get our hands on it next week, see how many ads are really in it. I want to know, who here plans to pay for the ad-free version? You pay that $2.99 more a month. I kind of like it. They could have just done, hey, everybody, you're going to pay $2.99 more a month. If you don't want it, you can go down to a cheaper ad-supported. Instead, they said, hey, everybody's on an ad-supported plan, same price as you were. If you want to pay more for the ad-free plan, you can. So I kind of like it from that angle. They didn't forcefully raise everybody's pricing. But at the same time, I know a lot of people are going to be very unhappy. Amazon Prime Video is long known to be ad-free. Now, after so many years, it's adding ads. Even if they are fewer ads than competitors, it's always a hard sell. So let me know what you plan to do. All right, if you are a T-Mobile customer, select plans are now getting Hulu for free. Now, the T-Mobile Go 5G Next plans will get Hulu for free starting yesterday. So right now, there's a link in our story down below where you can go and find information on how to activate your free Hulu there. But this means that you can now get free Netflix, free Apple TV, free Pandora, and more with select T-Mobile plans. Again, not all T-Mobile plans will get the Hulu for free. Only select ones. Link in the show notes to find out all the plans and how to activate them. All right, Verizon has won a J.D. Power Award for Best Wireless Network. This is great news for people on their 5G home internet service. J.D. Power says of all the networks in their quality study, Verizon had the best quality network out there. Love to hear from you. What do you think? Does this surprise you? What do you think of J.D. Power's rankings on this? Leave me a comment. Let me know. Any Verizon customers are happy with it or unhappy? YouTube is facing a growing amount of competitors. Now, Barstool Sports has announced they are switching over to Rumble with that, and they will be moving their show over to there after they were unhappy with the performance here. This is a growing trend out there of a lot of competitors fighting out with that. I'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the battle out there for competitors? Are you happy with YouTube? Are you looking for something to replace YouTube? I think what this is all going to come down to, creators can be unhappy, but if the average viewer is happy, I think it's going to be hard to compete with this juggernaut here. All right, speaking of YouTube, YouTube TV, and Fubo, and more may have to refund customers under new proposal. The FCC has proposed rules that would require cable TV companies and satellite companies to refund customers if a blackout removes local channels from their lineup. Now the cable companies are like, hey, you know, telcos and streaming services should have to do the same. Do you think so? Do you think you should get a refund if you sign up for a service and suddenly your NBC is gone and no longer being offered? Let me know what you think with this. The FCC hasn't made this official. They're asking for public comment on it. And of course, the cable companies aren't exactly too happy about this new rule. It says, and maybe slightly fairly, puts them at a disadvantage when negotiating with content companies. For example, if they have to drop some channels in a fight with a local television station and they have to lose revenue from it, the local television station may have an unfair advantage with them when it comes to renewing contracts and forcing them to pay more, which ultimately gets passed on to you, the end user, to pay more. And lastly, before we get into the question of the day, there's been a massive security breach. Security Discover first spotted this and reported by Cyber News that this is a massive breach of Adobe, X, Snapchat, LinkedIn, and others out there. I bring this up because a lot of cord cutters reuse the same passwords for different services. Do not do that. And this is why. If they broke the password on your LinkedIn, on your Twitter, X, on your Instagram, they often go and take these and try them out on paid services, and then they sell that login to a different customer. So if you have the same password on two services, suddenly they now have access to your Netflix, YouTube TV, Hulu, and other services, allowing them to sell it or at least access it and watch your content, especially if you use it for a bank account. This could be a really good time to go change your password, folks. Maybe get an identity protection plan to monitor your credit and other activities online. But be careful about reusing passwords. Use a password manager if you want. Never, especially with bank accounts, but never use the same passwords on multiple paid services. Never use your bank account password anywhere else. Highly recommended. Tip of the day. But check that out. Massive, massive breach out there. All right, question for Luke. This is where I answer a question from the readers. If you have a question you want me to answer, leave a comment down below and then start off with something like a question for Luke so I know it's something you want me to answer. But today's question was asking about news organizations, Fox News and others, about how come they can't go direct to consumers and offer a $6 a month, $5 a month package to watch your favorite channels. Why are they still all bundled up? Well, I'm going to kind of address this in generality. It's very simple. It's more profitable right now to be on cable networks because that means a lot of people who aren't watching your channel are still paying for your channel. And yes, cable companies would be very unhappy if they went direct to consumer. We saw that with Newsmax last year. They stopped offering their free feed of their channel because they said their contracts with cable companies was an issue here. Nexstar has stopped offering live feeds to some local news stations to help keep cable TV companies coming because that is still the majority of their revenue. They want to keep cable networks happy. Until that no longer becomes a majority of their revenue, I suspect that will continue to be the truth. That companies are going to be hesitant to launch direct-to-consumer options, risk upsetting cable companies, risk upsetting profit from that. That's probably not going to last forever. I think once that comes to an end, we will see more and more cable networks go a la carte, offering you a few dollars a month in exchange for their channel. And like, you know, if you're a hardcore, I think news and sports are the two that will be most successful on this. If you're a hardcore fan of CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, or others, you're probably willing to pay $2, $3, maybe even $5 a month for some people. But I think for a lot of other channels, they're going to be a very hard sell to convince people to pay even $2 or $3 a month for a channel where they're like, hey, most of the stuff is on Hulu, Netflix, Amazon, and other places. Let me know what you think of that. That's it for today. I'll see you all again tomorrow. Take care, be safe, have a fantastic day, everybody.